So welcome everyone to today's webinar. My name is David Marks. I'm the Director of Business Development for Tracker Products. And today we wanted to dive in and let you get to know a little bit more about us as an organization and some of the initiatives that we're taking on in terms of evidence management as an industry. So we really appreciate everyone taking time to join us today. And if you are a member already, I've got on my front screen here a link for the Facebook Evidence Management Community Forum. And in the chat box on the right-hand side of your screen, I've actually put the link. If you're not already a member of that group, Tracker Products has partnered with the Evidence Management Institute to try to build community during the current pandemic and beyond. And so we've created a forum community group that is available for evidence technicians, custodians, managers across the country to be able to connect with other evidence custodians and to ask questions and to share best practices. And we just wanted to promote an environment where you can get questions answered, feel like you've got some access to other people in your field that you can rely on. Because at the end of the day, the idea with Tracker Products and the Evidence Management Institute is to advance the field of evidence management and sort of create a change in the culture. So today, specifically, we are going to be talking about our new initiative, which is the Total Evidence Management Solution. And a little bit about Tracker Products. We've been doing evidence management software for law enforcement agencies, from small two-person departments to some of the bigger police forces in the country. And over time, what we've discovered is not only is technology and software going to enable you to do a lot more in your field with a lot less, but also that evidence management is so much bigger than just software. So as you can see from this screen, evidence management is a much more complicated machine with a lot of moving parts. And while we'd like to think that automation and technology can serve as the control gear, it's important to have a broader picture of the entire system. And what Tracker Products is working to do is to address not just the software and technology, but also these other gears that are all critically important to having a successful evidence management operation. So a little bit about us. We've been in business for about 15 years providing software solutions. We've recently partnered with the Evidence Management Institute to add a learning and training component to our offerings. And so if you visit the Evidence Management Institute or our Facebook group, you'll see that we've been putting out a whole bunch of fun free webinars, training opportunities that is just meant to help evidence managers start thinking a little bit differently about what you do. You know, the misconception that evidence is easy and that it's just putting a bunch of things on a shelf really doesn't hold a lot of weight, as you well know. Sean Henderson, the director of the Evidence Management Institute, has a saying that I absolutely love, where he says, think of your job not as a person who's responsible for handling a bunch of stuff in a box, but think of yourself as a curator of a museum. And while it may be a curator of horrible things in a museum, what you do matters and adds value, because what you do and what you're storing helps serve justice, which is incredibly important. And that's something that Tracker Products strongly agrees with and believes. And so we're looking to find different ways to offer added value solutions to your organizations. So when we're dealing with evidence management, obviously the two biggest commodities that we could be dealing with are time and space. Again, with especially some of the things happening in the world today, law enforcement is being called to do a lot more with a lot less. And that's unfortunate, but what we can do is offer solutions like our software that can help you streamline your processes, automate where possible, and really give you the tools to more effectively and efficiently do your job. So whether that's saving time by increasing the rate at which you can do intake, build in features like helping to automate some of your disposition process with automatic reminders and notifications, to simply being able to save space in your property room, whether that's through a barcode system where now you are able to manage based on the size of the packaging more than just by case, or if an officer has their own section where their cases and evidence are stored. We've had lots of success recently with several agencies saying that they're saving 30, 40, 50% of their space in their property room just by implementing a software solution that allows them to be more efficient in how they package and organize the room. So all of that is built into this evidence management concept. Now I'm going to go ahead and click on my screen and show a little bit about the starting steps that Tracker Products is taking. So again, we'll get into the software demo portion a little bit later. And again, it's going to be kind of a light demo. There's certainly not a lot of time in an hour to cover all of the different software features that we have. But at a later date, if you're still interested, we could set up an individual one-on-one, more in-depth software demo. But as we go forward, we're also trying to address those other gears. And the odds of increasing your organization's success with software is certainly there. But another thing that you need to look at are, what about your processes, your procedures, your training? And so what we've come up with in partnership with the Evidence Management Institute is what's called the EHealth Check. So the EHealth Check is seemingly a 70-question assessment that you can go online and fill out for your organization. It's going to ask a wide variety of questions, from how many dedicated evidence professionals do you have, information about how much are you bringing in on an annual basis, how many items are you disposing on an annual basis, and it's going to collect all of that data and assess your organization based on ratings of, is it a strong chain, an average, is it susceptible, or is the process broken? And what it does is, after you complete, it will generate a 15 to 20 page PDF report with all of those results and tangible data that you can then take to your supervisors or the command chain to be able to argue for improvements that you want in your property room and operations. So let me go ahead. This is actually a look at the eHealth Check. You can start by going to s.evidencemanagement.com/eHealthCheck. And right now, this is a free assessment that Tracker Products is sponsoring through Evidence Management Institute. Let me go ahead, and if we click Start the eHealth Check, I'm just going to run through the first couple screens with you all. But basically, you can type in your name, and it's just going to start adding a lot of information about your organization. You can put your agency name, so what type of agency you are, whether you're a sheriff's office, a standard police department, or other. You can put in your email address and your contact phone number. And as you go through, oh, sorry, I must have missed something. It wants the dashes in here for the phone number. You can actually start going through this assessment. So you fill this out for your particular department, wherever you may be, answering all of these different questions. Does your agency have the full support of the chief and executives? You could say yes, the evidence unit is adequately supported. And again, going through and having all of this data inputted into the system will then eventually build a case for you. We find a lot of times that agencies don't always have the best data to support what they're asking for in the property room. And so we want to supply you an easy and effective way to put that information in the hands of your decision makers and be able to craft an argument. At the end of the assessment, you would then receive an almost instant evidence management report that would tell who it's compiled for, what your agency name was, explain how it's graded, and it would go through line by line, and it would judge you on 5 major points in your property room. Everything from how sustainable you are with automation, any kind of analytics that are provided, as well as how are you on your access control? How are your security measures? Do you have accountability process measures in place? Are there any red flags? And it'll actually provide you with recommendations based on evidence management best practices on what solutions or what areas you may need to address. So again, this is a great free resource that's being brought to you for free by the Evidence Management Institute and Tracker Products. And it's really that first step of the total evidence management solution. Another thing that we are going to be offering to anybody who comes on board with us for software is what's called a tracker optimization audit. So what this is when you come online with us, we will have a representative with the Evidence Management Institute visit your agency on site and do a more thorough audit of your policies and procedures. And the whole idea is if we can make sure that all of these different gears are working well together, you're going to be set up for a much greater level of success when implementing our software. And while the software is going to give you a whole different perspective on how to manage your property room, it'll also make sure that these other gears turn equally as efficient. If you do want to spend a little bit more time on our website, I would also recommend checking out some of our links. We have really done a lot in the last couple months with updating our information on here. The portfolio section particularly will have all of the different information downloads that we have. Our SAFE brochure that talks a little bit more about our organization, the SAFE features page, which will tell you about the top features of our website and our software product. Everything from the dashboard visualization, talking a little bit about automatic disposition, being able to generate custom reports and templates from the software, to things like tasking and being able to do internal communication for your organization. We also have links on this site to all of our different free resources. So here's a link for the EHealth Check, as well as our weekly evidence management webinar that is done not every Wednesday, but typically every other Wednesday going forward, as well as a link to all of our social medias, and again, that evidence management community forum where we also upload past videos. So you can still catch up on all of the exciting things that we've been providing recently. Another thing to look out for is our blog and our newsletter. We'll be coming out with a August-September edition of our newsletter. And what Tracker Products is currently trying to do is to show evidence managers and police departments in positive light. So we've been reaching out to current clients or current potentials in our field, and we're having interviews done of success stories. And so we're going to be having a success story theme with our upcoming newsletter, showing evidence operations that were struggling a little bit, and when they were able to really turn around their property room and make it operate on a much higher level. So the newsletter will be here linked. Again, we also have a blog that's continuously being uploaded for different stories in the evidence management world. Again, it's not necessarily all scare tactic stories, because again, we are looking to create positive change and really kind of shift that narrative in the industry. So again, check out our website at www.trackerproducts.com for a bunch of cool information on there.